Brandon, what up?
What's up, my man? We doing?
All good,
What's
all
going on,
good. How are
Brandon?
you?
How we doing? Good, good. I'm doing great.
Yeah, man, just wanted to get you on. I know it's been hard to kind of hammer this interview down, so I said let me see if we could get something sporadic going on here and give you some congratulations on an amazing performance, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Uh, man, take us back to that fight. I guess letter grade. What would you give yourself?
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I ain't gonna hold you. B,
Why a B?
B. Just because honestly, it was a whole bunch of other things that I could have done, but I went in there with the mentality of, I, I told my team before I went into this fight. I apologized to my team about if I got disqualified because the fight before this fight, I was getting low blowed. It was a lot of stuff that shouldn't have been, and it was allowed because I guess the referee said he had a hard time hearing what was going on. And I don't care what nobody say. Getting fouled and getting low blow, getting hit in the private area that many times by a professional fighter, it does something to you. We're professional fighters, so it made me have to gather myself. I had to get my legs under me. So this time around, fighting against Boychuk, who I know is a much sturdier, tougher opponent, somebody who's been fighting against the top fighters in his division. I told him if I got disqualified, then I apologize. Because if he low blowed me, if he headbutt me, it will be an eye for an eye. But I told him, man, we should not be moved. Like I literally was like, I'm not going backwards. I'm not going back. I'm going to show him that even at his game, what he's known for doing, I was going to neutralize that and take over and do everything that he's supposed to be great at, and show him that I'm greater at what he's capable of doing. So I mean, as far as that goes, I did what I wanted to do, but I took some shots that I had no business taking because I'm a lot more craftier than that, a lot slicker than that. Um, and I just believe in my ability that much.
Comparing your performance to Virgil's, who you think did it better?
I mean, who you tell me?
Nah, buddy. I asked first.
All right. Well, I got no problem. I got no problem. I honestly think that I completely dominated him every round. There was not a moment where you thought that I was in trouble. Um, and as I said, I did it from being in the center of the ring. I outlanded him. I outworked him. I out everything Boychuk, and the volume of punching that he's normally used to throwing, and the body of work in which he's used to producing, it was non-existent, and it was non-existent not because I was smothering his work, and I literally just outworked him. I hit him real hard, made him not want to throw his punches. And then when he was trying to let his hands go, I would counter him and just do little small things to put my punches together to neutralize him because I was looking to knock him out. I wasn't trying to just go all 10 rounds with him. I was looking for a spectacular finish, but then he started to fight to survive. And he did well surviving. That's why we were able to go the whole 10 rounds. But I wasn't looking for 10 rounds. I was looking for 10 or less. I was looking for less.
Man, Brandon, I have to say that the my only complaint to the main card of the Canelo Crawford fight was that your fight wasn't on that main card. And when I was asked about that, I was like, "Oh my God!" And I have to be honest with you, that was my first time seeing you fight. So when I saw the pre-fight when you wore the wig and everything, the press conference. I was like, who is this guy? Who is this? Who is this guy? But of course, when you pull up your shirt, I'm like, okay, well, he's conditioned. He looks amazing. So let's see what he gonna do the night of the fight.
That's
But
genetics. Get out of here.
when
You
when
been,
but when
bro, you've been looking like that for like 20 years, bro. I need to know. I'm sorry,
listen,
Star. I know cause Star is super into fitness. So we need to know how much cardio you doing to look like that, bro. You always rip 24/7, even out of camp, bro. I follow you. That gotta be genetics. I mean, not. I
I'm
mean,
gonna
let me
try to
No,
not
use it.
disrespect you. Obviously, it's not all genetics. You got to put in the work, but like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure in high school you was also fucking diesel.
Nah, man, I was doughboy. You know what I'm saying? I was
You was
I had a lot of
chubby?
baby fat. I was chubby, man. Ask
Wow.
Whoa.
anybody who knew me when I was in high school. Everybody knew I was chubby. I was more tailored towards looking more like a football player. I looked like I was either between just way too short, but either between being a linebacker and a running back. I wasn't Rick. I wasn't Diesel the way I was. That's what all the older folks call me today. They're like that dude Diesel. So
Wow.
That's
yeah,
definitely a phrase
So
for my
so
era.
so so would
that's
you
it.
say so would you say as far as your midsection, would you say it's more cardio or more diet?
It's a mixture of both. And I'm not gonna lie to you. When I was younger, I could get away with hot Cheetos. I can get away with everything. I'm being real. Like now, I listen to my body. My body, like that. It's crazy as it may sound. People don't understand when I say your body starts to talk to you. If you eat a
Oh
whole
my
bunch of
God. Yes.
you eat a whole
Yes.
bunch of steak, you start to eat certain foods, and literally the next day, even after you eat it, you're like sluggish. You start feeling terrible. Your body starts to, feel, that's your body speaking to you, like, yo, you overloaded. You
Yeah.
just overdid it. So, what I start doing, especially when I get close to a camp, when I'm getting close towards fight night, what I start doing is eating a lot more seafood. I'll mix it up. Some days I'll eat seafood, and I won't eat. It's literally it's something that I've learned from listening to this older Asian man. He used to be like, you eat
Mm.
either from the land or from the sea. But he was talking about if it's
Yeah.
from the land, then it's chicken or beef, or of course vegetation. You need vegetables and all of that. But he was saying for every meal, make sure you're eating vegetables.
Yeah.
Um, I don't want to sound like I'm a health guru or nothing, but literally, that was one of the things that he was saying to me, and one of the ways to getting ripped was eating more so of whitefish, because it's
Hmm.
not as heavy and it doesn't sit.
Fatty. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and it's gonna give you what you need. That avocados, you need fatty foods, so that way when you're losing all of this weight, because when we're training, we're burning calories and we're sweating out pounds during workouts. Like each workout, you could lose the highest amount of weight that I've lost without a sauna suit on, just it being hot in the gym. Um, it's probably honestly it was like between 4 to 5 pounds, and that's what I just put a little it was like a little
Abilene.
Abilene cream. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was it, Abilene cream.
Mm.
And we was up in there. I sparred. After I finished sparring, I was shadow boxing, skip rope. I did my floor work, whether it was the sit ups and all of that stuff. And literally, I was down like 6 pounds from
That's
that just that
crazy.
workout.
Mm.
So of
That's
course you
crazy.
have to put something back into your system. Otherwise, you'll start feeling real depleted, and that's why I say, like, man, you have to listen to your body. It's extremely important for you to kind of get in tune with your body. The younger you are, the better it is, because then you'll be able to achieve a lot more greatness within your own self versus you
Of
waiting
course.
until you're a little older.
Of
But
course.
wherever you start, that's your journey, and it's extremely important for you to be able to have that communication with your body. So I just try my
That's
best
dope.
not to eat late. Try your best not to go to sleep with food
Yep.
in your stomach.
That's
That's
dope.
mostly that's one of the biggest things, man. Ness, stop eating late. Stop
That's
eating late.
dope.
Ness, stop
I
doing
yeah,
it.
I yeah, that's dope. You
Listen,
you
you
can't
gotta
you can't really
understand. I be on this show so long. Sometimes it's impossible not to eat at like a 10 o'clock or 8 o'clock. Like, look, it's already six, about to be 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. You know what I'm saying? On the East,
mm,
when I go back to Florida, I'm really gonna be done. Cause look, you're in Atlanta and it's eight
hmm.
21, so
Well, no,
it,
you just
it,
have
it
to eat
makes it
before
difficult.
you're gonna have to eat before that 7 o'clock show
What?
when you get
And
here.
then stay
Yeah.
and then stay hungry all night. And then she don't want me to eat
Ah,
M&Ms either. She said no M&Ms neither. What am I do? Hold on, Brandon. So you don't eat no snacks either?
nah,
Yeah,
well, the
pretty
snacks that I eat for the most part is
probably.
usually like fruit. I'm not gonna lie, it's usually fruit or a protein snack bar, something like
What?
that.
Yep.
You don't eat
Yeah.
candy?
Yeah.
Nah, not so much really now. I used to a whole
Even
lot,
I
but
mean, even at a camp, like you ain't like going to the movies, getting some M&Ms with your girl?
Not really, man.
Wow, no sweet tooth, man. You
Hey,
lucky.
don't
No
make it
wonder
sound
you
like
look
I'm.
like that then. I mean, if you
Well,
ain't
you
got
Yeah,
no
want to,
sweet tooth, it's easy, I guess.
you know what I'm
So
yeah,
saying?
but
I'm
so
but
all right.
so nothing. There, you don't have no guilty pleasure. You really just rock with fruit.
Oh no, I mean like I love ice cream, frozen yogurts, and
Okay.
all of that stuff. Nah,
mm,
Bryce, man, get out of here, son. That's my youngest little
within
guy. I'm doing an
within
interview. Go, go, go.
moderation. Yeah, within moderation, huh?
Wow.
Got you. Yeah, it
So
got
now
to
let me
be.
let me let me pivot back to the fight. So Brandon, when I say you were so active in that fight, I did see the Boa Chuck and his
Virgil.
name is
Virgil, Virgil.
Virgil fight. I like your fight better. Now I'm gonna say that because to me you just stayed on them the whole time. To me, your ring generalship was just off the charts. I really love your corner. I like the fact that your corner was. That's the first time that I heard a corner to say hold the breath for a few seconds. I was like, oh wow, that's masterful because it's like that's mind power to me, right? And then when they was telling you, reminding you that you were the B side, like that was powerful to me too because they kept you on your toes. But the pressure that you was putting on board Chuck that entire fight, I was like, man, this guy is so powerful and so amazing. So I just want to thank you for that performance. I just wish that it was on a main card. I'm sure the opportunities are gonna come from that because you made a big statement. So thank you for that.
Of course.
Well,
Thank you,
Yeah.
man.
has the phone been ringing?
Well, I did something smart, man. I sent everything towards my manager, Mark Habibi. I had to because and he's like, yo, bruh, my phone is ringing crazy. So we're getting offers. We're getting offers because I'm no longer with my promotion, the promotion I was once with before, which is Banner Promotions. They
Bro.
were no non-existent. Bruh, I know. I couldn't say anything
how
until after.
how did you get out of it? Did you just like cuz obviously you've been getting regional titles. Doesn't that automatically renew you?
Yeah, yeah, it did. But even at the point where the what happened is the contract basically if you would have left up towards how they were trying to place this contract, it's almost never ending.
Yeah.
And it would have been never ending. And I was like, okay, look, man, I've already served this time. We have to figure out it's either I'm gonna do this or I'm not fighting anymore. And they were playing hardball. It was like, well, shit, if you don't fight, you know what I'm saying? It ain't no sweat off our back, so we don't care. And I was like, dude, that's pretty jacked up, like, so Mark is real intelligent. He's smart, man. He was like, look, man, let me handle everything. Let me see what I could do. Let me talk to these guys. And Mark is the one who pretty much handled everything. And this fight going in, me fighting Boychik, when I say I knew I was going in as the B side, I mean literally the only people who believed that I was going to go up in here and stump him was the few folks who knew of me, who knows me enough to be like, "Yo, Brandon's a real good fighter." But I mean, like as far as like promotion, nobody. It was basically me purchasing my contract and then going into a fight to where I was even my own
Wait.
promotion.
I'm sorry. When you say, just to be clear, when you say purchasing a contract, you saying you bought yourself out of the contract, like Andy Ruiz
Yeah,
did with Top Rank?
Whoa.
yeah,
Okay, okay, that's
Mm.
dope. I mean, I just
yeah.
want to make sure the other, because you know, fighters gonna listen to this, other people need to listen. You got to take control of your
Yeah.
career, man. I'm happy for
You
you, man.
absolutely. I'm not gonna hold you, man. You've known. I've been in that contract
Forever.
for for over 10 years, and no young fighter needs that. No fighter who's has aged need that. Everybody needs an opportunity to be able to strike out on their own if they're gonna strike out. Everybody needs an opportunity to fail on their own. They need to be able to make it on their own. Like every decision that they make shouldn't be loomed off of basically somebody only being able to put you in a predicament. You should be able to create something for yourself, which I did when I fought Boychuk. I went out there. I was the only fighter who was marketing my fight because I knew what it was. I knew what the situation was. They said, "Look, Boychuk is one of the top fighters in the world, but he's Ukrainian. He don't have much of a, a presence. So we
Yeah.
need for Brandon to go and sell the fight. And once I heard that he called me an old man, that's when old man
Mm-hmm.
Cannon was born. That's when I was like, well, let me go find me an old a wig, and the wigs that I found when I was at Party City and stuff, man, they were terrible. They was all like, they were
Clown wig.
terrible, man. Yeah, I was like, oh hell no, they looked like a nappy ass Hulk Hogan wig. It was all just, it was like a fro in the back, but it's all, I was like, nah. And then I found that one particular wig where I looked like Ric Flair. That's why I was making fun. I was like, yo, give me the Ric Flair wig. I'm gonna throw on my player glasses. And I was like, yo, well, since you calling me old, and what I've learned is the boxing world call fighters old once they reach a certain age, like
Age.
33, all of a sudden you're an old ass man. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, look, I take very good care of myself. I'm in phenomenal shape. I know this because I'm in the gym and I'm training and I'm sparring with youth. I'm sparring with young fighters who's up and coming. I'm sparring with heavier, younger guys. So they got energy. They're trying to work volume and I'm outworking them. I'm pushing the hell out of all of
Mm-hmm.
them. So I was like, yo, I like my odds. And respectfully, man, I've always known that I was heavy handed. And that heavy hand doesn't go away with age. It gets refined. It's much better. It's much sharper. That's why you every time I hit boy check, you heard it. You didn't hear when he was hitting me. You heard when I was hitting him. So it definitely I had to sell the hell out of this fight. I had to sell myself because again, I'm walking into brand new territory where I say I'm a free agent. I had I had the performance of the night, as far as what they believe besides Terrence Crawford, but I didn't think they was going to give it to Terrence Crawford because that was the actual main event.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest and say I thought that that was the performance of the night, even though a lot of folks didn't like how it went. Doesn't matter, does not matter. What he did and who he did it against. That was performance of the night. If it was me ranking it, just being honest, because I love boxing. I'm a huge fan of boxing. So when I saw what he was capable of doing, I was smiling, going, "Man, that's it right there. That's exactly how you supposed to approach it." With the feinting, and keeping your jab, keeping your leading hand busy, setting up, let the guy keep throwing nothing but powerful punches, and just work off of that. So, and it's funny, man, because even after the fight, I was asked, it was like, yo, man, you seen when Canelo was fighting Crawford? Because I'm around a lot of Canelo fans, and they asked me, what did I think of it? And I was like, well, I think Canelo is real good and he's great. But what happened was, is over time, he fell in love with his greatness to where he didn't go out and cut the ring off the way he used to when he was younger, because he got
Yeah.
into a place to where he saw everything kind of just fell in place for him because he's Canelo, and it didn't work against him towards a guy who felt that they were hungry and they were looking to who focused. And I love that. Excuse me. I love that Terrence is extremely competitive because he wouldn't allow himself to fall into doing what everybody else was doing when they fought him, and that was doing. It's a certain guideline that he wants you to follow, and he didn't do it. And that's why I was like, yo, I expected that. And what I said about what Canelo should do is go back to setting small punches up. When you saw me fighting Boychuk, I didn't throw all big punches. I would set punches up here and there, touch, touch,
Yeah.
touch, bang, bang. And that's where fighters who's built like me, Canelo, who built like us, the Marvin Haglers and the guys who has broad shoulders and are punchers, you have to set those kind of punches up by getting the person into that position, getting those people into a certain condition of fainting and getting them to where you need to get them to throw and land those kind of punches versus you just off the back throwing hooks and uppercuts and overhand rights and stuff like that. Boxing is a sport. Not only is it a sport, but it's a science. So you got to live up to that.
Yeah.
Did you go into it thinking I'm gonna knock him out again?
No, I had the mindset of if he tried like to fight back real hard, if he fight back real hard, it's gonna be a short night. But as we were fighting, I could feel the fight. Like literally, it was evolving. Like as we were fighting, he was trying to make adjustments so I couldn't hit him with certain punches, and that's when I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was moments where I can tell he was like in survival mode. Like he wanted to make the fight look competitive, but he wouldn't do things to open himself up because he saw I was like a shark looking for blood. Like I tasted blood, so he can tell. So he was like, I'm not gonna do this because I can tell he's like he's looking to try to get me,
Mm-hmm.
and I was.
Man, definitely an amazing fight. Anybody in the division you're eyeing now?
I'm not gonna hold you. Everybody who's got some a
Hardware?
plaque, yeah, everybody who's got the hardware, I'm looking uh to collect and pass go. I've always believed that, given the opportunity, I could prove that I'm one of the best fighters in the world, and I can be a world champion, and I am gonna be a world champion. So that's 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 the road that I'm on.
So, am I correct? Are you the highest ranked in the WBC?
You know what? I honestly I haven't went and go looked at any of that. I haven't looked at none of it. Mark, if I'm not mistaken, last time I saw it, I think they had me. I think at number 6, but I'm not even sure. I know Boychuk was number 1, and you know what I'm
Now
saying.
he's
I
not.
beat him.
Now
So
he's number 8. You're number 6 still. So I don't know what's going on
okay,
there.
okay.
But
Me neither.
obviously on that card, Callum Walsh defeated Fernando Vargas Jr. Do you think that they might throw that at you, or
No,
are you saying no?
no, I don't think so. I think what they'll do is I mean, if you watch his fight with Fernando, it's still more of a building process versus them just throwing him up in the ring with me. I don't think that promote from a promotional standpoint. I don't think that would be a great move. If you're trying to develop a fighter, especially after a fight like that, where you saw that there was kind of like a discrepancy in the way that he was fighting, and again, these are two young guys who aren't as developed as I am. Respectfully, as a professional, I wouldn't if I was his coach. Or oh yeah, and me and Freddie, I train with Freddie, so I'm like loved over there at the wild card, mad love and respect from both ways. But if I was his coach, or if I was his promoter, or if I was his manager, uh, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. Maybe a couple of fights in, if I could see a wrinkle in Brandon, and hopefully, you know what I'm saying, this isn't the new Brandon who's steamrolling past everybody, and or I want to develop my fighter. So I don't think that fight would be them knocking on my door, not just quite yet, if you want me to be honest.
So a guy that's hard to get a fight, and it would be a title shot. So I'm assuming you won't say no. Is Bakram Mortazaliev, right? Is that something
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
would take?
Of course, I don't understand why everybody's running from that opportunity. Like, hey, look, man, I said it many years back. I'm not prepared to turn down no fights. I ain't prepared to turn down. Look, I said, quote unquote, I said a long time ago, I'm not in position to be turning down no fades. I meant that when I was younger. I stand by that. That's always been the mindset. I've never been the person who was a side. It's fine, that's cool. But I've always understood and knew that my path was always going to be hard, and everybody's running or not wanting to fight him. That probably just leave a window right there for him to be looking at me, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, yo, if they're making it work, I mean, like, my manager's job is to make sure that I'm going to go for the absolute best opportunity. My job is to prepare for every fight that's in front of me.
I feel like I want to see you versus Boots, man. What do you think? You versus Boots. Is that a fight that needs a title on the line, or can that be a fight that's next?
Whoa.
Um, it could be either. It could be either or. I don't. He never fought at 54, but he's one of the top guys at 54 already. Uh,
His fight is coming up on the 11th of October.
yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, that's good for him. That's dope, and I think he's a good fighter. And I would love to get in the ring with him if he's one of the top guys. And he's in the way, especially if he's in the way. Again, man, I'm not turning down nothing from nobody. Somebody bring or present something to me or present it to my manager. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna try to make it happen because I have a fan friendly style of fighting, and
Hmm.
I'm ready to get up in here and get active. That's just a real, like, I'm being real.
Nice.
Um, I had Brandon Segalis on. You familiar?
Brandon Segalis,
Yep.
yeah,
Good. He didn't think that that was a dirty fight.
that's
He
that's
he
that's part
he
of.
he actually like was like, yeah, Cots beat Brandon, and he was happy. Like, obviously he's supposed to be happy. That's his company, but you know, there was no acknowledgement of the low blows. I'm pretty sure I brought it up, uh, but this was a big win on a big stage. Do you just move on now, or do you want to fight Cats again?
You know what? I ain't gonna hold you there either. I talked to Cats, and Cats did the same thing that you said Brandon did. He was oblivious. Man, I wasn't low blowing you. I low blowed you just once. And I was like, bruh, we in a ring, bro. Like, let's look, it's nobody talking. This is just me and you from man to man. You know you were low blowing me, bro. Like, I'm not trying to do this so I can go. I'm not a media guy where I'm gonna go and run to the media. This is between me and you. Cause I want us to have a rematch. And he was like, no, no, no rematch. Yeah, I wish you well. So now I'm more so in position to be able, like, I'm in position of power. I'm in position of power now. So I'm like, yo, honestly, the competitive side of me, like, I want to get in there and destroy him and his whole team and show them, like, yo, bro, like, he was never on my level. I outboxed him then, you know, but do I snuff him the same way that they pretty much did me? That's why I'm trying to figure out if I should be the same way they were towards me, because they had an opportunity to rematch. But Cats ain't fought against nobody. He had his activity has been on the lower side. Him and his team, they're not really doing anything. I thought it'd be great if that same kind of fight, if everybody seen that on a bigger platform, even just because it was still competitive. I'm not just gonna say that I'll just wash you. No, it was a competitive fight. But what he did to edge over was kept hitting me in the groin, hit me in the private, and it was clear as day. You will see the flap on my shorts, the way it go up. It shows that it was from a punch, and that's why I was explaining to them, and they know. Brandon knows. His manager. I forget his name, McWaters, whatever their name is. Like they all know. Even the referee had an opportunity to go back and rewatch the fight, and when he did so, he was like, "Yo, man, I couldn't hear what was going on. And because you didn't react like you were being low blowed, I didn't treat it like you were being low blowed." And I'm like, yo, I have to be a fighter. I have to always stay as a fighter. But at the same time, again, this is a professional boxer striking me in the private area. You know what I'm saying? At this point, my toes are numb from being fouled like this. And so I'm like, yo, what do I supposed to do? I don't know what the world would expect from a guy who's being fouled in a way that can stop fights, that can cause permanent damage. Like, and we already can have permanent damage, but like in the private, if it was going to be a fight like that, then let me know from the jump. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so if he low blowing me, I'm headbutting him, I'm elbowing, I'm doing everything else. But we supposed to have a strict guideline of us being professional boxers, and he was supposed to, go by that. And the referee, as the third man, was supposed to do his job. They didn't. It was my career was on the line, the same as his. I lose, and everybody just all they see is the record. They go, "Oh, but Cats beat him." They're like, "Nah, Cats isn't a good fighter. He's a good fighter, but he's not on my level." Cats couldn't beat a Boacha. Cats couldn't beat Varone, the kid that I fought before him, Francisco Varone. Cats couldn't beat him. Cats couldn't get in the ring. Cats wouldn't last if he fought against a Jamal Charlo. Cats couldn't get in the ring and beat none of the guys that I've been in the ring and fought. None of the top guys right now today. Cats couldn't get in the ring and fight Boots. How you think Cats would do against Boots?
I think he was offered that fight. I thought maybe he was offered that fight.
Cats wouldn't do good against Virgil. Cats wouldn't do good because then now it's not like it's Cats and what he brings to the table up against. It's gonna be Cats on the B side. They're not about to be letting them foul and low blow a guy who's from the B side fouling the A side guy. No, no way. You can see, go back and watch the way when I was beating up Boychuk, and you barely heard the commentators acknowledging me putting hands on him. It took a little time. It was a little subtle. It took a little time for them to
Nah,
be like,
for
"Hey,
sure.
Brandon." Yeah. So with that being said, like, nah, you're not about to go up in there. You need skills. The skills that pay the bills. Um, Cats don't really have skills, and he's a tough guy. He's a tough guy. He's a tough guy. He does what he needs to do to survive, and go look at all his fights. He just got by, and that's wasting way too much time even on that guy, honestly. So would I give him like if there was an opportunity, if it presented himself and he become a champion? Yeah, I'm going to flatline him. I'm going to flatline him. But if me fighting better guys out there like the Boots, like the what's the name of that guy? I was about to say Bob Backlund, but that is not his name.
Xander Zayas?
No, but yeah, Xander. Any of those guys that will look a whole lot better once I fight them and win those titles and gain all of that versus me going like I want to make sure that if Cats does what he's supposed to do, I'll see him again and then I'll make him pay for every low blow that he gave me. I might give him one back.
All right, I got a couple questions from the people and we'll get you out of here. Alan Day, what do you think about a bout versus Charles Conwell?
Charles is my guy. We both got the same manager. I don't, if it happens, it happens. But I don't too much know if that'll happen either because we kind of like we close. We are close connected.
Donald in Baton Rouge, would you take a Jake Paul fight?
Uh, To be honest, man, I think that would like from their side. I'm way too built and I'm way too dangerous. I don't think Jake Paul would do that.
Uh, Wait. With that being said, so why you think he took the Tank fight?
Well, because he felt like Tank is respectfully, I'm much bigger than Tank. I think he took the fight against Tank because he saw Tank as being a much smaller person, and he's gonna do what he could. He's gonna try to survive and make it look good because it's still exhibition, still exhibition, still. They like, oh, somebody could win, but it's exhibition, no real winners. Um, but I feel like
But you
he
don't
would do
think
what he.
Tank gonna try and look like he
Oh,
won because of
I
the
don't think.
culture?
Well, no, 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 no. I think Tank was gonna try to do what he got to do, but I think if Jake Paul put his big ass weight on him and try to hold him down, like that's just that the mass of his body all over Tank. Respectfully, like I think that's gonna be real hard for Tank to try to neutralize that kind of motion and strike, strike to take a bigger guy out like that because that weight difference is crazy.
I got Adrian from Lakeland, Florida says for not shout out to you for not letting four losses deter you from your career. Beautiful performance against Bolchuk. What do you think changed in the way you fight to go on in this incredible run?
Um, being B-side branded, just knowing and understanding that every time I go in the ring, man, is me against them. And like I said, that last fight that I had on overtime, that's what it clicked, and I was like, I don't care no more. It is what it is, you're gonna associate me with everything that you associated me with, and everybody always was like, oh yeah, but the cannon is from Watts, the cannon's from South Central, and I was always like, yeah, man, but I work real hard, and at that moment, I was like, yeah, I am from South Central, I am from Watts, so what? And that was kind of the mentality. That's the mindset I got from now on moving forward.
Brandon in Cincinnati says, I vividly remember you eating a candy bar in a post fight interview on ESPN after a win, laughing my ass off. When did you give up the candy?
He talk about a Snickers, man. He's funny. Tell him I was much younger, man, and I ate it because I didn't eat anything the night before I fought. they was asking if we was hungry, and I was like, no, I'm not hungry. And we wound up fighting later on that night. But literally, I went to. I basically only had breakfast, and I didn't eat anything else. So then it was like, Brandon, you got to eat something, and I didn't think about it. I didn't care. So soon they gave me a Snicker. It was actually Raymond Gatika's Snicker. He had the Snicker, and while I was talking. I looked at it, and he looked at me and was like, "You want something?" Man? And I was like, "Yeah." I took it. I was doing.
That
He
is
funny.
hilarious. That's hilarious.
That's my funny.
I don't
Mm.
know if this one is meant for you because put Tiger, unless that's going over my head. So I'll read it. Y'all let me know. He says, "You are the poster child for not giving up and how to bounce back after a loss. If you beat Tiger, when could we expect you in a title fight?" What the fuck Tiger is he talking about?
I don't golf, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
So Xander's looking for an opponent to go to Puerto Rico. Could you be ready by December? And would you be willing to fight in his home country? Now, obviously, he's already said no to Giovanni, who would be moving up from 47. But I'm sure with your win over Boacek, he would consider you, uh, you know, I guess a worthy opponent, right?
Yeah. That's a call I think my manager did make. And I think
Really?
that one was for now, that one was like nah, we looking for this is a
Softer
Puerto Rico
touch.
fight. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I hear he's not. I hear he's saying no, right? Like they tried to throw him an alley oop with that Giovanni, and he's saying he turned that down. He turned it
Yeah,
down.
that was
Mm,
supposed to be the reason why, because he said he wanted
yeah.
something more challenging.
So
Oh, that's
nah,
dope. Well, I
yeah,
got a little love in Puerto Rico. You know what I'm saying? That's why I knocked Boychuk out the first time. I wouldn't mind going to Puerto Rico again if that was an opportunity. I'm hot in
Yeah.
Puerto Rico right now. You know what I'm saying? I want to know what a knockout Puerto Rico.
let's go. I got Treese in Toledo, Ohio. He says, "What did you think of Callum Walsh, and do you think he's your next fight?" You answered both. You think he still needs to develop, and you don't think they would put him in there with you. Next one is from James Valdez from San Antonio, Texas. What do you consider your biggest win and loss, and why? Good question.
Uh, to me, I would say my biggest loss would be the one that hurt it the most. Probably was actually it was my first loss when I fought Willie Monroe because I was just so fresh and new to boxing and his craft, what he knew, all of his experience. It hurt it like a mug. You know what I'm saying? I would say that one. But then, honestly, me being more developed, when I fought Jamal Charlo, it was a crazy situation because I fought Jamal Charlo with my right hand being, it was messed up. My right hand was completely messed up. And I had an opportunity to step out of the fight, step down from the fight. But I was a fighter who's never seen this kind of money. So I was like, no, I'm going through with it. Being honest, we went and we fought at the end of the 12th round. I literally was like, man, I'm not tired. I'm not tired at all, man. He didn't hit me with nothing to make me like that to hurt me. And I felt like I didn't push myself hard enough that I should have been able to be in position to push myself a lot harder so I can get what I was looking for. And I was to land better shots earlier and to probably even be able to be in position to upset him, his hometown. And then for my biggest win, um, it was the Puerto Rico fight when I fought Boychuk the first time. The reason why is because again, it was me against him in 360 in Ring City, but also we fought during COVID and it was spraying sanitation in the ring, so we were slipping and sliding. And while we were slipping and sliding, I could not slip and be my normal self when he and I were fighting in the ring. And the referee there took away a point in the third round, told me if I low blow him again, he was going to disqualify me. When I was on the ropes trying to slip and catch and parry and work, the referee said, Adam, show me something. You got to show me something. So now I said, oh, he's trying to stop the fight. So at that moment,
Mm.
I felt like I was fighting against not only board checking what he brought to the table, but also the referee because he wasn't cutting me no slack. So once I knocked him out, I went to the referee and I was like, "What was up with all that bullshit?" He said, "You don't pay my bills," and I
Whoa.
was
Great.
angry. But he said, "You don't pay my bills, baby. You did good though. You won the fight. That's all that matters, right?" And me and my team, we were like, they
Damn.
were extremely
Dirty
upset.
sport. Dirty.
Mhm.
After and I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I found humor in that because I kind of walked away from it. I was like, like, you heard what the hell he said? I was angry, but like when he said it and how quick he said it, he was like, "Hey, baby, you don't pay my bills," you know. So and when he did that, I just looked
Whoa.
at him like, "Theo, man, fuck Theo. He piece of shit." You know, I was calling him uncle in Spanish. And I was like, "Ah, Theo, you full of shit." You know what I'm saying? Because I was just like, "Are you full of shit for that?" But you know that it was that fight. That was one of the ones that really stuck to me that I won and overcame that.
I got two more. These are live. The odds champ says, Brandon, tell him how you got here from middle school. Laugh out loud. It's not genetics. Let's go, champ. Watts up 115th, 120th. So just a
Yeah,
statement.
yeah. I
And
would say it's more of a statement.
Alchemist says, tell Brandon his little brother Bino said, what up?
Hey, tell that boy what up. Tell him to come back in the gym. Stop playing. That's what he need to do.
Uh. Well, champ, those are all the questions, man. If you want to give out your social media, please do so. We appreciate you coming on, man. Just wanted to, again, have you do the victory lap and congratulate you on an amazing performance.
I
Yes.
appreciate that. Thank you very much, man. It's Cannon Nation all around. Brandon the Cannon Adams and or Cannon Nation. Like that's I'm everywhere, and that's exactly what the names are. Cannon
Awesome.
Nation or Brandon the Cannon Adams. You'll always find me.
All right, champ. Well, once again, thank you. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.